how test runner and assertion works. So to answer that question, the first thing we need to answer what is a test? We know when we do manual testing, it's very simple. You write some code, and then you go to test your UI, or you make API calls to make sure the code behave as you want it to be. But when you try to write automated tests, what does it mean? Like how can I write a code that able to test another code? So so the definition is actually very simple. A test is something that throws error when our code does not behave as expected. Okay, so yeah, when we talk about automated tests, is as simple as this. So for a test to do this, to achieve this goal, it throws error when our code does not behave as expected. It will always have two steps. First, it will run our code under certain conditions, and then after that, it will verify our code behave as expected. If it's not expected, then it will throw error. So you can actually like translate this definition like how you do a testing, right? You test the features, let's say a user screen. First of all, what you're going to do, you log in because you want to reproduce the scenario where user is logged in. And then after that, you go to user screen, you verify the thing is there. If it's not there, then you kind of like throw an error to your developer. You raise a ticket, or you just talk to him, say, hey, this does not work as expected. So when we talk about automated tests, it's the same thing. It's just that instead of human do that, we put it in a code to do that for us. So now I'm going to now we understand what's a test. So what is test runner and what is assertion? So now is where we are going to write a very simple version from scratch. So this is an example code I'm going to show you today. This is a simple like npm project. So we have only one dependency, which is a fetch, and then after that we have some def dependency, which is a Jest and Jest type definition, as well as prettier. Okay, so now we have a few JS code. The one I'm going to test is first one is this util.js file. So we have this class name function. So what is this class name function? What it does is you can call it. You can call this function, and you can pass as many parameters as you want. So you pass a parameter. Let's say you pass a button, and then you pass a button primary. What this function will give you is it will merge these two together as a single class name that you can put to rec. And then the thing about this class name is that, let's say you pass it a false, or you pass it a null, then it will ignore this false and null. So what is a good thing about this behavior? Because many times in rec we like to have a conditional class, right? We can have like let's say color is equal to primary, then we do this button primary. So let's say if this expression is false, and then this whole expression would return false. And since class name would ignore false and null, then this whole expression will not produce any class name. So this is the use. This is how this class name works. So now I want to write a test for these class names. So I want to write a test for it. So let me create a file. I'm going to call it just simply test.js. And to test this code, what I'm going to do, of course, the first thing is I'm going to import it. Import class name. So now I want to test this. So remember, our definition of test is we want to produce run our code under certain conditions. So we need to run our code. So now I want to run my code with the parameter A, B, and C. Okay. So what I expect it to return me is A, B, C in a string, right? So my expected will be A, B, C. So now I want this code to throw error when it does not behave like I expect. So I'm going to simply check if result not equal to expected, throw new error. Okay, is expected, and then what I receive is the result. Okay, so now I have this, and let me run the code. So now I'm in I have Node.js locally, so I can simply run a JS code using Node and put the file name. There's nothing show. Okay, so let me improve this a bit. So what I'm going to do is, if this doesn't throw error, I'm going to console test pass. Okay, then and also when it throw error, I actually want to show like, hey, the error, the test failed. So I'm going to wrap this whole thing in a try and catch, and then I'm going to console log test fails. Okay, then I run it again. So test pass. So let me change my expected. Let's say I write my test wrongly. I write A, B, C, D. Okay, so it doesn't match the expected, it should throw error, right? So we run it again. So yeah, test fails. So we just write our first automated test in JavaScript. So now, but this is not very scalable, because technically you see now I have a try catch. What if I want to have more tests of my class names? I'm going to create another file, and then create another file for another test. Okay, this is not very scalable. So what we're going to do is we want to create a wrapper that allows us to define as many tests like this as possible. Okay, so the wrapper will call test. This test has two parameters. First is test name. The second parameter is test code. Okay, so what this test will do is it will try to run the test code. Okay, if the test code doesn't throw error, then it will console log pass test name, and then when it fails, it will console log fail. Okay, test name, and then it will console log the error as well, so it's easy for us to check. Then we have this test function. Now I can wrap this whole thing in a test. So I can test is, let's say, merge class names as expected. Okay. Then I pass. So I declare a test name, which is what I want to test. Then after that, I can wrap all my code inside there. And now I no need the try and catch anymore. Why? Because try and catch is actually being handled in the test utility. So I can save this. So now let me try my utility. Is it working? Okay, test pass. And if I write my test wrongly, then it should fail. Okay, you say fail. Okay, so our test utility allow us to define class in the most scalable way. So now I can write another test, and test like it will ignore undefined and false. So I can pass it undefined. I can pass it false, right? So it should actually still ignore this. You still produce ABC. So let me run my test again. So yeah, then it has this pass. Both tests are pass. So this is like the very simple version of test runner. Okay, you use all the test frameworks. They also expose this test function for you, and this is how it works under the hood. Okay, but this is very simple version. There's many things I don't do, but yeah, this just to give you a feeling of like what is those test function do. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to write a simple assertion libraries. So what is assertion libraries? You look at this code, this is actually an assertion because we are making sure this and this is equal. If not, we throw error. So this is what we call an assertion. So now I want to wrap this. Code in a reusable function. So we're going to call this function called aspect. Aspect is a function that you would receive one parameter that is called receive. Okay, then it will return an object. So this object, there will be many. It will be a list of functions that user can use. Now we're going to return one function called to be. Okay? So to be will receive the expected value, and then here is where we write the code. So I'm going to lazy. I'm going to copy this and put it here, and then when receive is not equal to expected, throw error. Okay, now we have this aspect. We can go up to our code here. Now I can replace my code with aspect result to be. Okay. And to be honest, actually this expected is not much use anymore because the code is so short now. Let me just inline it. Okay, expect result to be ABC. Very readable because it just reads like a normal English. I can do the same here. Expect result to be ABC as well. Okay, now let me run. Okay, my test pass. So this is how. So if you write any JavaScript testing, all the framework you use, they always have this test and aspect. So test is a test runner, as I told you, is a way for you to declare your test and then for your framework to pick up and run it. And then the next thing is the assertion, which very common they use the aspect. So aspect is for you to make sure some result is equal what you expect. If not, it will throw error. When it throw error, your test runner will pick up and then it will console into your console log. This is how you know, hey, which test has passed, which test has failed. Okay. So but so far what we are doing here is we are manually running this code and manually implement those tests and aspect. So I'm going to remove this because we're going to use Jest. So because I already installed Jest, so how I'm going to use Jest now is very simple. I just add one npm script. Let me call it test, and then it will call Jest. Okay. And then after that, I'm just do yarn run test. Okay, what yarn run test do, it will look at your package JSON scripts, see, hey, is there anything declared as test? It match here is test, then it will run this command. And so then it will run our code. So when you look at this code, right, like, hey, our aspect and test is not there anymore. But this code actually still can run. Why? Because this test and this aspect actually comes from Jest. Jest will automatically inject the test and aspect function for you. And the good thing about that is you see Jest able to produce much more better output than me. He actually tell you how many tests pass in total, how many, which is nicer. Okay, but under the hood, it's just the function that I showed you just now. So this is what Jest do. It help you do this for you. But there are many things that Jest do for us here as well. First thing is you may ask, hey, how Jest know this file is called this file is a test? Because just now when we initially what we do is we use not test.js to run this file. So how Jest know is by default it will look at the files with the naming convention ending with test.js or spec.js. Okay, because now our file name is test.js, it fits the naming conventions. So just know, hey, this is a test file. Of course, it's configurable what naming convention you want, but yeah, the default one works good for most of the case. Okay, so this is our first test. Now let's look at our next test. Okay, omit function. So what is omit function? Omit function is if you use Lodash, you probably know a bit about this function. So what it does is it omits some property from your object. let's say you have an object looks like this. Okay, A, B, B. Okay, so if you run omit this object and you pass down, maybe you want to omit uh, A, so what it return you is this B. Okay, then it omit the property A. So you can actually pass down multiple. So if you pass on A and B, then you omit everything. It will just return to you the empty object. So let's write a test for this omit function as well. Okay. So to prove to you like what I say to you just now is correct, I'm going to create another file. Okay. I'm going to create this file called util.test.js. Okay. So first thing what I'm going to do now is just now I run Jest, then Jest run, then it ends. Okay, but I'm lazy to keep running. I want to ask Jest, hey, keep running. When you see I have file change, right, keep rerun the test again. So in package.json, I'm going to add another script. I'm going to call it test watch, and then it's just calling Jest with additional flag watch. So now I'm called Jest run test watch. So if you're not familiar with Yon, don't mind, it's just like npm. So if you use npm, you use npm run test watch, then it will works the same way. So now I run this, and then yeah, then you see the console is not ended. It's still watching all the files. But first it says our test should contain at least one test. Yeah, because we haven't write anything here. So let's write a test. Pass. Okay, for empty function. And see now I save, then it will rerun again. Yeah, so this is the watch mode of Jest. So now it passed. Okay. Then as I said just now, as long as you fit the naming convention, Jest will recognize both of you are test code. Okay. So now go back to our original intention. We want to test our omit function. Okay. So let's say I have original object that looks like I show you BB. Then would aspect omit. I want to omit key A, and it should left with BB only. Okay, let's run our test. Okay, it says error. Why? Okay, so the thing is, first what's confusing here is, let's say, let me get these things out first, then we can console. Okay, let me console the result first. Okay, then you run again. So yeah, console is a BB. Okay, is BB. But now you say BB, it still say we fails. Okay, why? Because actually just give you very good error message. It say if it should pass with deep equality, replace to be with to strict equal. So let's follow what it says first. Strict equal. Okay, then it pass. So so why changing this would change the result? The reason being to be by default is just like what I show you. We use a triple equal to check two things equal or not. And because in JavaScript, when we check equality between object, it will check the identity equality, which means it will compare if these two object is exactly is the same object or not, instead of comparing the value. So if you want to compare the value inside an object, like they have the same property, and for each property they have the same value, then you should use this to strict equal. Okay. So yeah, so let me rename it omit property. Okay, so we learn two assertion from just now: to be and to should equal, and which is also the most common assertion I use.